Hello there, and welcome to A Mystic Break. So, hey, I just wanted to start a small series here in which I detail some character builds that would be good options for your Daggerheart campaign in LEGO, of course. And so I wanted to showcase the first 3 of those today, and I would love to have input from the community as to any other specific builds that you might be interested in. You know, Daggerheart has such a great system in terms of its class and ancestry structure, ancestries being its racial system. But yeah, some unique classes in here for sure, and I'm sure these will be added to over time. In fact, I know that the classes will be expanded in the near future. But the heritages, the races are really cool. You know, you get a whole different bunch of options, from fairies to simia, which are monkey-like creatures, and Gallipa, which are your sort of turtles, to ribbits, which are frogs, to orcs and elves, and all others in between. And I think, you know, there are just so many great options, and of course a lot of fun to play with when building Lego and creating characters out of Lego. So the other cool thing is that some of those heritages might change depending upon the frame that you play in Daggerheart, so the specific world setting, and those can vary a lot. So your ribbits, for example, in the Age of Umbra won't be short little creatures anymore. They'll be actually 6-foot lumbering creatures that hulk about in the Age of Umbra. So that's really cool. They change. Again, I'd love to hear any thoughts that you might have for character designs. But today I'm just going to show you the first 3 characters that I have created, which will be broadly applicable to most Daggerheart frames. Gonna start out with this fairy bard that I've created. The torso piece I got from K-Town Bricks. Really dig that torso piece. The legs come from one of the Lord of the Rings sets, and then I've given her that cool little headpiece and these wings as well. Her bardic instrument of choice is this little flute, and you can see I put this cowl around her neck to hide the appearance of those wings around her neck, which I think is a good option if you don't want to see that. And then you can, of course, take her wings off if they could be folded under her cloak, let's say, and this is what she might look like. Also given her the druidic hood from the D&D CMF, which I think works out perfectly here. And then the 2 swords she's got come from CMF 22, the Knight Protector, and I think those suit her really well as well. Next up here we have our Simia Wizard, and I took the head and hairpiece from the Monkey Kid line. The torso comes from the D&D set, but I've switched the arms out for that. And then the legs come from K-Town Bricks. I've also put this tattered skirt around the waist just to hide the tail lining there, which I think works out pretty well. You could use something different here, but this is what I had, and I think it works pretty well. Given him this cool staff, of course, which I think is pretty sweet. And then you can put a hood on him too if you want to do that. Here he is in all different poses, using all kinds of different magic, which I think is cool. Learning something from his spell book. That's fun. Lastly, we have an orc warrior. I've given her the Wolfpack Tamer legs from CMF 27, as well as the arms from that minifig, but then the torso is actually from the Viking set. We've got this cool fur cloak, and then also this awesome custom mace that I made. The shield comes from the D&D set as well. And then the breastplate comes from Pickle Bricks. I picked that up there. I think that's a really cool piece. You can give her this helm, which I also got from Pickle Bricks. I chose gold here, but I think pearl dark gray would be really cool too. I just didn't have a spare helm in that color. But yeah, I like the way she turned out here. I think she's looking pretty mean. Oh yeah, and then the headpiece comes from the D&D set as well, that orc headpiece, which is perfect. So hey, those will be the first 3 characters that I showcase here, and I hope you've enjoyed them all. Let me know which one you like the most. And yeah, look out for more of these in the future. Again, this is just going to be a little mini-series that I set up alongside our Daggerheart campaign, and hopefully this gives you some ideas. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.